auto climbing form system. Essentially, this is the photo that shows the setup at the beginning, where we had generated very high lift to save a little bit of time, in which we didn't have to do 2 lifts. A single lift was sufficient, in which we set up the entire formwork system. This is just another photo showing the assembly. As you can see from this picture, it looks very, very complicated. But in fact, this works like a clock, almost, in terms of how it works. There is no problem whatsoever having to climb all these formwork systems as much as possible. This is the top of the deck. As you can see, it's kind of a construction site by itself, and all of these people move at the same. All of this equipment and everything moves, including the climbing of the pumps. It's just another photo of the slab. The core wall sequence essentially prefabricate the rebar at the ground level the first day, form dismantle at the same time, ACS form climbing, and then rebar installation, inspection, form closing. At the end of the day, we do the concreting. And everything takes place in about 3 days. In terms of the floor framing for the slab construction, we used essentially 4 levels of shoring, and use a MEVA kind of system in which we install the first concrete level. Then when this is finished, we move these all the way up. Then at the same time, these panels will come down and move to the same level to assemble. After about, when the concrete reaches about 15 MPa, we move the formwork, the panel, immediately to the second level. And then when everything is set before pouring the second level, we kind of reshore this level and reassemble it back in order to reduce the maximum load at the lowest level of the slab, and that helped a lot. This is just kind of showing the construction sequence and the drop head system that was used for the construction of the slab. Now, I talked a little bit briefly about the up-up method. As you can see, the project is designed, and there is a lot of setbacks. And sometimes you think about these are probably headache things, and how do we deal with that? It's going to create a lot of difficulty, a lot of transfers. But we managed it in which we actually use it to our advantage in some sense. So we were able to create a methodology in which we build the slab at the multiple level at the same area at the same time. So essentially what we had done is it created, because this is the column transfer where the core wall ends and the column starts. So essentially we created a temporary structural steel platform that was used to install the formwork system at that level, which what you see here. While the slab is lagging behind because it's a little bit behind schedule, what we were able to do is essentially build use that as a platform for us to start another level. So essentially we're building nose here, a nose there, and a nose there at the same time. So you end up speeding up the construction enormously. This is here in the area, at the nose area of the slab, and many of you probably had seen this. We use a protection screens for many reasons. One, for safety issue. Many of you probably, if you worked in Dubai, it's a very dry climate, and the curing of the concrete has become very important. The early shrinking and curing is very important. So essentially we use these forms in order to protect the floor that we are constructing from the wind, and that increases productivity, and essentially the safety is an excellent also. And that itself, it's an auto climbing system in which we don't have to use the crane essentially to climb itself up. Now, rebar fabrication. Essentially how this is the center core area. Practically we divided all of these units into pre-assembled area on the ground, lifted up in position in order to reduce the amount of workers going up and down the tower. So what we have is a pre-assembly yard at the bottom of the tower, in which all these units that you see here are pre-assembled accurately, and the spacing, the ties, everything, because it's somebody is sitting on the ground and doing, and these are fabricated at the 2-story heights in order to speed our construction. and lifted in position and dropped in. In some of the link beams, as you can see, if somebody was sitting up there and trying to put all these rebar in position, it's going to be a very, very difficult situation. But somebody from the ground, they can do it very easily, lift it in position. And what you can see here also is the couplers for the floor reinforcement.